We have today on the program Hattie Winston. Hattie, we all remember her from Becker and much, much more. Hattie, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Absolutely. Hattie, from Broadway to Becker, you've played such a wide range of roles. What's been the most personally transformative role for you and why?
Um, well, there's several, but I think I'll mention Becker. Uh, Becker, I did that show for 6 years, and that was quite a run for a comedy. There are other shows that have been on longer, but because I was working with Ted Danson, and so many other talented people, I really learned. Not only did I enjoy doing the work, but I learned about all of the behind the camera goings on. And that was exciting to me. And also, I got to see, because I got friendly with the writers. So I got to look at their experience from their point of view. So it was really, really a great experience. And we are all still friends to this day.
That's fantastic. And what do you
Yeah,
think led to such camaraderie from that show? It was on for 6 seasons, right? Was it
yeah,
about six?
yeah. It was
Yeah.
almost six. I
Uh-huh.
think we were missing like maybe one or two shows, and it would have been 6 years. We did almost 150 shows. Uh, Ted, Ted is the reason that the show worked so well and that there was such camaraderie on the show. It was because of Ted Danson. He is one of the most human beings I have ever met, and generous. People say that all the time, that actors are generous. Well, Ted Danson is the epiphany of generosity. So it was just wonderful.
It sounds like it so much. It seems like that. And, when you think about a show, what made Becker so special?
Because we dealt with, it was a comedy, of course, but within the comedy, we were also dealing with human issues. We were dealing with people who had the same concerns that we did. The show took place in the Bronx. We were not on Park Avenue. So a lot of people could relate to that. We had issues like, if you know about apartment buildings in New York, the burners go out. There's no heat, there's no water. You're late for work, the bus was late. So we dealt with all of those things, and the fact that a lot of the uh, clients, a lot of the patients that Dr. Becker had to care for, they were, a lot of them were did not have the money to pay for their medical help. And oftentimes Dr. Becker would, he felt taking care of them was more important than the money. That's why he never had any, because he was always helping people. And I think the show lasted for as long as it did because people saw themselves in us and in our problems and the way we dealt with each other.
And I think, Hattie, now this would be a perfect time for a reboot of Becker in a way, or just
Oh,
basically people to watch it again. And because of streaming, there's opportunities still too.
yes, it's streaming on right now. I can't remember exactly, but I do get a $5 check every now and then. Uh,
Too bad, not more for
right.
your.
But it is streaming now, and I think because of the mindset of the country right now, and because of the things that we are going through as a country, I think that Becker would be perfect if it were streaming on more channels right now.
So they just have to go to the streaming, and you never know where that comes. But that's the cool thing about shows now. They live forever. It's almost like music now. Before it
Exactly.
wasn't the case, unless you got syndication, which I'm sure it did have syndication for a
Yeah,
while.
we did. We did have syndication, but that doesn't last forever. And then if you've been in syndication for a while, the checks go down from $5 to $1. So
Yeah, I never knew that. So it's not
yes,
it's crazy to think about
it
that,
really,
right?
it
For
really
sure. But I bet you if you search on Paramount Plus, if you have Paramount Plus, that's probably where, especially CBS probably has their old ones. But go search and I'll let you know where to find it, because there are certain series you're like, they're nowhere to be found anymore. So hopefully they are.
yeah.
Well,
And some of
yeah.
them are so good. Some of the series were so good. And we often talk about them like, whatever happened to so and so? Whatever happened to that show? They were so good. And I think, like I did a show many years ago called The Electric Company. And I think, and it was on PBS, and it was for children who were learning to read. And
Oh.
yes, yes. It was for the older kids who graduated
Oh,
from
I was
Sesame.
confused when I saw Electric Company. It rang a
Yeah,
bell. I watched it when I was a kid.
yeah,
Oh
see?
my goodness, Hattie.
See?
Oh
I,
yeah. So you're
yeah,
probably
I,
well known. I mean, that show was fantastic. Remember, I'm 52. So I
uh-huh.
remember growing up watching that in Denver,
Yeah,
Colorado, the Electric Company. It was ringing a bell. Now you're telling me. So what
yeah.
was your role on that show?
Yeah. Oh God. The thing that was so great about it is that we got to play all kinds of roles. And that was a joy for an actor. I mean, one week I could be a villain, and the next week I could be a wolf. I mean, really playing a wolf, and then the next episode I could be Cinderella. I could be my main character was Valerie the librarian, and I was Easy Reader's girlfriend. So that was terrific. Do you remember Easy Reader?
Yes, yes. And
Morgan?
I have to, what is there a way or where to stream that, Hattie? Is that
Oh,
still out somewhere for
it,
people
it
can
is. It's on oh God. What is that? One of those
Roku.
Roku. Thank you
It's a
very
Roku.
much.
I'll have to search and remember that. I mean,
Yes.
you're bringing up so when I was reading your Wikipedia, I was focusing on Becker for this interview.
Right.
But when I saw Electric Company, I was thinking it's some show, like not, oh my gosh, you're on a children's show. So
Yeah.
that's fantastic. You
Now,
helped educate me then. You made
now
the media giant,
I,
Hattie.
I bet, do you remember Rugrats?
Yes.
Yes, well, I did that for about 4 years. I was on Rugrats, and that was just so much fun. So much fun with those characters, with animation, and playing Susie's mom. It was great. So I've been doing this for a while. So I've had the opportunity to, as an actress, to really expand my craft and go from animation to Clint Eastwood. And
I
it's
love
it
it.
yeah, it's just been an incredible journey, and I wouldn't take anything for it. I love it.
No,
And
no,
now,
absolutely. So let's go to your latest project. And I know you're
yeah.
excited about A Gathering of Voices. To be
Oh,
part of this anthology is amazing. And I had the opportunity, I'm going to get to talk to almost everyone that wrote in this anthology. Oh my goodness. I mean, think about when you were asked to do this, were you ready?
no. No. But another great, that's what I love about my career. But Denise Nicholas
Yeah,
started,
yes, who I got to speak with. And oh
yeah,
my
she
goodness.
she started this whole thing. And Denise and I have known each other for years because we were two of the original actors for the Negro Ensemble Company in New York, which was a Black repertory company in New York City. As a matter of fact, it was the first Black repertory company.
Oh,
And
wow.
so Denise and I were in that together, and then we went off and did all different things. And she knew that I was interested in writing, as were the other people. And she asked me, would I be interested in joining the group? And I said, what time shall I be there? So it was all about learning the craft. And we spent years really learning to write. What does it mean to put words on paper? What is the motivation behind that? What is it you are really trying to
Yeah.
say? And we got to know each other. We became a family, and we would meet every other Saturday at her dining room table, and we would do critiques of each other's works. And we got to a place where we felt so safe that no matter what the six of us said to each other, we knew that it was coming from a place of love, and it was coming from a place of learning.
No
And that
doubt.
was so exciting about it.
No doubt. And what is so special about learning, coming up with what you're going to write about in a workshop, learning from Denise, because Denise is the expert writer with
Oh, yes.
everybody else.
Oh, yes.
Kind of, you guys are talented, you have your life experiences, but you had to go down there and get to work.
Exactly, exactly. We had to go places she had been a long time ago because her book was on the New York Times best-selling list, and she was writing her second book, and she said she felt that she needed some other voices around her as she worked, and we were fortunate enough to have her invite us to become a part of her workshop, and I'm so proud that she invited me. And this book, it's good. I mean, of course, I'm saying that
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I have five pieces in the book, but I think people will enjoy it, and I think they can relate to it.
And I think so too. And so tell us a little bit without getting away, what is your part of the anthology? Some of your stories.
Some of my stories. Well, I grew up in Mississippi and Tennessee. And so a lot of my stories deal with some of the things I encountered during segregation.
Oh my goodness.
And
Yeah.
one of the stories in there is called Battlefield. And it's really a story, something as simple as my daddy would take me shopping, clothes shopping on Saturday mornings for my school clothes, my Easter outfit, uh, back to school, Christmas. And it became such an ordeal. I mean, we had to prepare. I couldn't drink too much water before I went because there were no bathrooms for
Oh,
us to use. When I liked something, my mother didn't go, but she told us what to look for in the clothing. I couldn't try the clothes on. So my dad had to hold the clothes up to me and imagine that they fit. Uh, with the shoes, he had to put them next to my feet or put the soles next to the shoes that I was wearing and imagine that they fit, those kinds of things. On on the way to the store downtown, we had to sit in the back of the bus. So it was all of those experiences, but out of that, there was such joy because my father, he made it an adventure. He made it an adventure, even though it was a battlefield.
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I
And
think that's people that are dealing in war-torn countries right now, what they have to go through, and the children that have to
exactly,
is in a way for relating to this. And I think it's a perfect time again for your book to come out, being part of this
exactly.
book. But your
I
stories should be movies or
I agree.
documentaries.
I
You should be
agree.
on documentaries. Come on, Miss
I agree.
Electric Company, get to work.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
mean that so that those stories, reliving and having to write and put that on paper, it's got to be tough. I
it
mean,
was
I mean
fun.
because we all, everyone thinks it's therapy. It is therapeutic, but it's also painful and exhausting when you have to share your childhood or your life in some
Exactly.
sort of way, to regardless of what kind of life with a therapist or somebody, but to have to relive it and read it over and over again,
So,
it brings you some joy, but a lot of sadness too.
exactly. Sometimes I would have to get up from the computer and just walk around because visually, physically, I was there, even though I was in my room, in my house, writing. all of the emotions that I experienced, they just came flooding back to me. But then it made it more real. You see, it meant that the words that I had written were true, and I had come from
Yes.
a place of honesty.
I
Uh,
love it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
the powerful thing that
that, and
we can do.
I love writing. I just love it.
Well, hey, keep
Yeah,
it going. Are you gonna write your a whole book yourself this time?
I'm writing. As a matter of fact, I'm now working on my memoir.
Oh, well, we have to stay in touch because I want to help you in some sort of
Okay.
way when your
Oh,
memoir comes
please.
out, especially because you wouldn't that be a story that I help you promote the book and I watched you on the electric company and look who I've become today because of you.
Look at us.
Isn't that cute? I think
I
that's
love
that's the power of story
Yeah,
and
it really is.
opportunity and to be able to do that. And I thank you so much for the electric company. I never got to watch Becker, but I mean, that's the one I'm just can't wait to go
It's
watch one
funny.
episode of the electric company. So Hattie, the last question, my co-host couldn't make it. His name is Greg Hanna. He is the founder of Toss C3.
Mhm.
And he basically interviews celebrities and asks this powerful question. I'm going to ask it for him because I said, "Hey, I know you couldn't make this interview. I know you really wanted to, but here it goes. You ready? This is the hardest. This is the question that's thought provoking. And if you went back and listened to them, you would know. So,
Okay.
Hattie, tell me what was the most important thing in life you've ever learned?
There's several things that are going through my mind right now. And I think the most important thing that I've learned is that kindness is much easier than hatred.
That was
I
powerful. What else did you learn? You said you had something, one other thing.
um never forget the child that still lives within you. You must always search for the joy, no matter what's going on out here. Search for the joy within. And I guarantee you, if you do that, if you search it from within yourself, you'll see it in someone else, which makes us all basically the same.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate it, Hattie. Best place to pick up the book is in all finer bookstores, right? Especially.
Bookstores, Amazon, bookbaby.com, Barnes and Nobles, any place that has books. But go to Amazon or bookbabies.com. You'll probably get it faster.
All right. We appreciate it, Hattie. Thanks again.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. You're
Okay.
listening and watching The Neil Haley Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.